today's video I'm going to show you a number of different ways you can actually clean track. Now here's a piece of track that I've pulled in from the garden, and as you can probably see, it's not in the best of state, but believe it or not, this will still actually work. The trains do run over this fairly smoothly, and just for comparison, this is a test bed of track which stays indoors, and as you can see, it is in fairly good condition. Now there's a number of different products you can use, and I've got a couple here. You've got your abrasive pads, right, which are very, very fine. These will work, and they do bring up the track to a fairly nice shine. If you've got some really heavy grit or any heavy dirt, you can use something like this. This is a sanding block. A lot of people say not to use these though because of the texture of them, and they are very harsh. Now what happens is when you use these, they take a good layer off and you'll be left with little marks, and a lot of people say that with the little marks that they leave, dirt goes into that and then there's a bigger build-up. You can also use something like this, wire wool, which will bring you up to a shine, but it does take a time. Or you can use things like this. This is just a little bit of Brasso out of a Brasso tin. The downside with this is that, as you can probably tell, it'll take a long time to do it, although it will come up to a heck of a shine. It's lovely, this stuff. But you got to make sure that you wipe away the residue, and I'll show you some different things now. Alternatively, you could use something like this. Now this is the LGB Track cleaner. These are very good, but they are a little bit expensive. They're about £350. The way they work is underneath they've got two rubber wheels which oscillate and rotate, and if I just put this on the side there, you can see they've got two rubber wheels here which rotate in a slightly different direction to what the train is running. So as you can see, there's a motor at the back. This does actually bring up the track to a nice shine. The only downside is it does take a couple of goes generally to get it really nice and shiny, but it depends on what you want. If you want it to be functional, then it doesn't need to be shiny. The downside with these is they are quite expensive to replace. I think the last time I replaced these, they were about £22, and these internal flanges, they're made of plastic, and what happens is as they're going around, if they go over things like points, then plastic can get trapped up here, and you have to just be careful. You have to pull it out. The other thing, I don't know if the camera's picking this up now, but there is quite a lot of dirt in there. You just need to make sure that they are clean. And again, however, if I just put this back, so these are pretty nifty trains. And the other thing you've got to remember is once you've got it, you don't have to use it as a track cleaner. It can pull normal wagons as well. Okay, I normally pull it with the LGB crane. Now if I just take this abrasive pad, this is the sanding block, very abrasive. If I just take this over the track here, you can see, I just get the camera again, you can see that this now is bringing it up to quite a shine already. The downside is if I get the light on it, you may just be able to see that it has left some imperfections on the actual track surface. Now, if the camera will pick it up better this way. As you can see, there's quite a few little scratches along there. Now, obviously, using something as coarse as that, it is bound to happen. But if you go over it then again with something a little bit finer, you can generally get rid of most of these, and you can leave it then have a nice little shine. And if I just show you that, now it's got rid of most of them, but there is still there. Now, if I try on a different patch here, a bit of wire wool. Wire wool will do the same thing, but as you can see, it's taking a little bit longer. And the bits of the wire wool are coming along now. LGB do make their own track cleaner pad, which is about 15 to 20 quid to buy, depending on where you get it from. And the replacement blocks for it are about £10. But as you can see there now, the wire wool hasn't done a bad job. It's taken the edge off it, but it's still fairly thick of dirt. However, this will work quite well. Now, if I do another thing with Brasso, if over here, start wiping, and this one will probably take the longest, although it's coming up quite well there. The downside with the Brasso is it needs to be wet. so to speak. So it needs to have some of the Brasso polish on it to actually work. Otherwise, it's just like running a damp cloth over it and it won't do anything. Now, I don't know if the camera's picking this up that well, but there's a lot of residue coming off this. This is the polish that is being left there, and you can probably see it isn't coming up that well. However, when you wipe the polish away, you'll probably notice, or hopefully you'll notice, that it'll come up to a nice shine. Now, this is what you're left with after it. Something that is full of gunk. But this will be fine to do another few lengths as well. Now, if I just wipe this away, the actual track there now has come up to a wonderful shine. So this is probably one of the best things that you can actually use. It's really good for actually shining track. The downside is if you've got a lot of track, it'll take quite a while to do. Now the other option you've got is to use something like this, which is a standard rubber. And people do say these are fairly good. However, if we try now in this section of track, which is dark, let's try this. It's not really having much of an effect, to be honest. Nope, not that good at all. It has taken something off, but as you can probably see there, it hasn't really had much of an effect in comparison to that really shiny railer with the Brasso, the wire wool there, and obviously the sanding block there. The sanding block is good, right? Don't get me wrong, the sanding block is very good if you've got a lot of dirt to get up. The downside is it will take a layer off your track, and it doesn't take a lot off, but it'll take enough. And if you do it over and over again, what you may notice is you'll get flats appearing over some of your rails. Now, with this, I'm just going to use the MTS system. I've set it to number 1 there, because obviously the train is set to number 1. And if I press the 1 on here, you can see it comes to 1. I'm just going to reverse it up a little bit. Now, if I just take this back, as I said, this last rail, it wasn't that dirty. And it's just gone over it fairly quickly, but you can just about notice there's a little bit there where the track cleaner has been stationary for a bit, and it has brought it up to a rather good shine. Now with this, with the track cleaner, it does need to go around a few times just to make sure the top layer of dirt is off, but it is probably one of the easiest and one of the best ways really of cleaning your track, because it's just put the train on and go. You will have to clear a little bit of track first if you haven't used it for a long period of time. However, if you are after a really quick fix, sanding block is great, but it does take quite a lot off. Otherwise you can use a really fine sander, but it'll take a lot more time. If you've got all the time in the world, then use the Brasso, but just make sure you wipe it away. Anyways, I hope you found this interesting. If you want to leave any comments, please do so in the box below. Otherwise, have a good day.